Welcome to day 47 of the Trump JFK Files Watch, in which we monitor progress and enforcement of President Trump's order for release of the JFK assassination files. You think you got it bad. Here in Washington, we don't even have a vote in Congress, okay? We don't have any senators. So we have taxation without representation, which I heard there was a place once where they had taxation without representation and it caused a revolution. But that wasn't around here. Taxation without representation does give the people of the District of Columbia a certain sympathy for the powerless and a certain critical detachment about the powerful. And speaking of powerful, President Trump exercised his powers on January 22nd when he issued Executive Order 14176, calling for full and complete disclosure of JFK assassination records. When I heard that news, I thought, that's great news. This is something that I've been hoping for and talking about for more than a decade. 6 weeks later, my MAGA friends will have to forgive me, but I think this is a fair judgment. The short answer here, the short take on Trump and the JFK files on day 47, promise made, promise not yet kept. JFK Facts is the premier online news source for authoritative information from independent, trusted sources about the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, Malcolm X in 1965, Martin Luther King in 1968, and Senator Robert Kennedy in 1968. And we cover the official secrecy that still surrounds these violent incidents. Check us out, JFK Facts on Substack, jfkfacts.substack.com. President Trump's announcement on the JFK files on January 22nd made big news. He signed this executive order calling for full and complete disclosure of all records related to the violent deaths of these liberal leaders in the 1960s. Sounded like a done deal, but if you read Executive Order 14176, and many a TikToker did not, Trump merely ordered aides to give him a plan for JFK files in 15 days and a plan for RFK and MLK documents within 45 days. He ended with that made-for-TV moment that went viral.
And everything will be revealed.
6 weeks and 5 days later, what you hear is mostly the sound of crickets. The online crowd has moved on to Epstein and Diddy, with lots of speculation about LBJ, UFOs, ISOs, IOUs, IUDs, PSYOPs, doo-wop, hip-hop, and all kinds of stuff that we can take up later. The bottom line, the unviral truth, is that Trump's plans for JFK records is a month overdue. The plans for disclosure of RFK and MLK records was Friday. There's no sign that those plans were delivered. There's no sign that they even exist. The FBI did turn over 2,400 JFK documents that they recently found to the National Archives, and that was welcome news. But otherwise, we really have nothing to show. The Trump transparency train is stalled. The Epstein release, a total debacle. The administration triumphantly released material that had been in the public record for years, thus making their brightest young influencers look, well, let's be charitable about it, unprepared. And the release of JFK files? It has yet to happen. When Rep. Anna Paulina Luna announced she was going to hold hearings in Dallas on the JFK files, she got slaughtered online. I mean slaughtered. Toasted. No time for you, woman. Please. Don't you hate getting ratioed like that? Just getting creamed on social media? When that happens to me, I hate it. But the point of the JFK Files Watch is not to dump on the president. It's to hold him accountable. It's to monitor real progress towards the goal that we all share, full and complete disclosure of JFK assassination records. To that end, JFK Facts and researchers associated with the nonprofit Mary Farrell Foundation have developed an objective measure, a list of 15 to 17 different documents or pieces of evidence known to exist, known to be in possession of the National Archives or the CIA or the FBI or the Kennedy family that should be made public in order to enhance public understanding of this key event in American history. These are not smoking gun documents, although a couple of them do have some potential for explosive revelations. These documents will fill out the picture of what happened on November 22nd, 1963, when the liberal president of the United States was gunned down in broad daylight, and no one was ever brought to justice for the crime. President Kennedy's vision of a more peaceful world died that day. His vision for a different kind of American empire, his vision of a strategy for peace, all of those perished on that day. And that's why people still remember the JFK assassination and why people still care about the details. And that's why us old-timers recommend young people learn this lesson of history. It's an important moment in the country's history. This is not a wish list. This is not a fishing expedition. Like I said, these are documents known to exist, known to be in the government's possession. They can be easily retrieved. These are documents that must be released under President Trump's Executive Order 14176. And yet, 6 weeks later, we have zip. No new records, the promise of some FBI records, no sign of compliance from the CIA, and no plans for release of the records of JFK, RFK, and MLK assassinations. And for that reason, we give President Trump an interim grade of D+ on the JFK assassination files. When I tweeted that out on social media, somebody got back to me and said, hey, give Trump a break. He's only been in office for a month. I said, excuse me, my friend, why don't you give us a break? Us as in the people of the United States, okay? Our elected representatives passed the law in 1992. That's 33 years ago. And they said all JFK records had to be made public within 25 years, okay? In 2017, the CIA evaded that law and Trump let them do it. So 8 years later, Trump's executive order is very welcome. But implementation is everything, okay? We heard the promise. We expect results. We want all of the JFK files. We want all of the files that are listed on the JFK facts report card. The Angleton testimony, the Joanides file, the Schlesinger memo, and all the rest of it. We want it all, and yes, we want it soon. We want it today, tomorrow. The day after that would be okay. But in any case, we want it soon, okay? We've been very patient, but we can't be patient forever. Day 47 of the Trump JFK Files Watch.
And everything will be revealed.
Promise made, promise not yet kept.